Welcome back, everyone. So my next guest, who is my longest-running guest, and yes, he's here again, and he's here again for a reason. I have with me Ted Watkins, and he is an enrolled agent. Don't turn the dial just because you heard him, because a lot of you out there are procrastinators. So that's one of the reasons why he's back on. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what we're going to talk about today.
Okay, well, it's always great to be back on the radio with you, Carol. I always enjoy doing the radio program with you.
Thank you.
And a lot of you have probably heard my voice before.
They've gotten to know you.
But if you haven't heard me before, my name is Ted Watkins, and I'm what's called an enrolled agent before IRS. Now, I'm not an employee of the IRS, but I am licensed by the federal government. But I represent you, the taxpayer. I prepare lots of tax returns, and if you are unfortunate enough to have some tax issues, I do a lot of negotiation work with the IRS, and we also work with the Arizona Department of Revenue. And I'm from California, so I also do a lot of work still I have a fair number of California clients, so I work with the Franchise Tax Board out there quite a bit. But the reason I like coming on is I like to help people, and I think we've helped quite a few people. I've been on now, I think, over 7 years now. And so we've helped a lot of people that have had tax issues over the years. And actually, I guess the biggest problem most people have is, well, I guess fear would probably be the biggest issue they have with the IRS. But it's also procrastination. I mean, nobody really likes to deal with taxes.
No, it's fear. It isn't anything. Fear is the beginning of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they get themselves in an issue, and what happens, I think, is it snowballs big time.
Right.
And when they think even if they think they can try to do themselves, I think that they wish that they would end up talking to someone like you, because they would never get what you could do for them.
Yeah, I think you're right, Carol. I think fear is the main problem, and the fear causes people to procrastinate. And then all of a sudden you turn around and several years have gone by, and you haven't, maybe you prepared the tax returns or had them prepared, and you never got around to filing them. And so that 1 year turns into 2 and 3, and sometimes I've seen, I had one person hadn't filed in 32 years.
Wow.
But
I don't even understand how that's possible.
Yeah, well, he was lucky. I mean, most of the time after a few years, the government catches up with you. They're kind of slow, but they're like a turtle. They plod along, and they eventually catch up to you.
You know, I was thinking about this as you were talking about, yes, you have been on a lot. Geico ads are on every 7 minutes, and there's a reason why. The reason why is because you want to remember them. Also with Ted, not only that you can come on here, you've added some things to your repertoire, which we're going to talk about later on, but there are so many people that also come and listen to this from other shows that they've heard, or they're just listening, they've just tuned in, and so it's not always the same people, too, is my point.
Right. That's true.
When you're listening to this, I want you to, even if it's not you, if it's someone that you know that might have some issues, you don't have to have issues to work with Ted, and we can talk a little bit about that too now.
Okay, sure. So that's absolutely right. You don't necessarily have to have any tax issues at all. I'm happy to prepare. I mean, I do 600 or 700 individual tax returns and about 100 to 50 small business returns every year. So we're happy to work with you just preparing your tax returns from year to year. We also do a little bit of accounting. We usually use QuickBooks, and I do some payroll too for small businesses. So you don't have to have an issue to work with me. And also, it's a good time. I mean, it's the tax season is over from about May 15th through about August 15th is generally the slowest time of the year for me. So I can sit down, and if you have some tax issues, I can devote 100% of my attention to them. But if you need some tax returns, if you want on extension for 2016, we're happy to prepare your tax return. We still have until October, but the summertime is a good time for us because, as I said, it does slow down, so we can get right on the returns. And then if you have the tax issues, we can pay a lot closer attention than we would be able to during the tax season.
Let me tell you something about Ted that I know. He is the most meticulous man I've ever met. And you were just telling me, and I'm not going to say what you were reading about, but that you were looking up something. I mean, he read it from cover to cover, every word. And you know that someone like that, that's what you want. That's the kind of person you want behind you. He is an enrolled agent, doing it since 1978. Just because he's an enrolled agent, he doesn't charge you any more for that. It's not about that at all.
No, not at all. So you'll find my fees a lot of times will be less than H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt or Liberty Tax. We're just because I have a lot of experience and I've been in business a long time, we're not out to gouge you. We do the returns thoroughly and charge a fair fee for them. I also review the returns 3 times before they go out the door, and you'll be hard pressed to find that, particularly at H&R Block when there's 14 kids running around their office.
He also can help anyone in the United States.
That's right. I'm licensed by the federal government, so I can represent or work with anyone in all 50 states. I actually have clients in about 23 different states, and I can work with you either preparing tax returns or if you have tax issues, I can work with you. I mean, the technology has really solved the distance issue. It's with the email and the fax and the priority mail or express mail. Distance is not really an issue anymore.
Not at all. And so because he's licensed, all the people that are listening out there, you can call in as well if you're in another state. Like I said, he has 2 Valley locations. He loves to give away everything. And the reason why is he really wants to help everyone out there. It's his appreciation for you to talk to him. He does free consultations. He has 1 location in North Scottsdale, the other one in North Phoenix. His website, if you want to check him out, it's tedwatkinsea.com. He does free consultations for everyone, so you can call him direct if you want at 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. But he also is giving everyone lots of other free things by calling in here. So we have our lines open. There's a tax organizer. If you haven't heard about it, we'll talk about it in a minute. It's phenomenal. I believe everyone should have it. Just that. The record retention guide, everyone should have that. That's his number 1 question of what should you keep, what shouldn't you keep. He's going to go back 3 years for you for free. He also is going to enter you into win a free business or personal tax return, whether you've done it or not. He's entering you in to win that. Also, he's going to give you a Starbucks card or a Walmart card. He just wants to help you and see what he can do for you. So our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100.
Okay. Well, Carol just mentioned my tax organizer, which I think is a very good tool to help you save some tax money. And it's if you go on my website, which is tedwatkinsea.com, and on the home page you'll see a little icon that says Tax Center. If you click on that, you'll find it in there. And it's about 15 pages long, but it's kind of a one-size-fits-all. If you own rental real estate, or if you've sold stocks and bonds, if you have a small business, if you have an office in your home for your business, it covers all those different types of areas. So you don't really, if they don't apply to you, just skip over and go on to the next page. But I think if you spend probably 10 or 15 minutes going over it, you'll find a lot of deductions you might not have been aware of. Like, for example, a lot of people aren't aware that you can deduct mileage to go to your doctor, to your pharmacy, your hospital. You can also, if you're taking your stuff to the Goodwill or Salvation Army, you can deduct your mileage for that. And that's just a couple, those are little minor examples, but there's a whole lot of other things in there that if you go through all of them and add them all up, you'll probably save quite a bit of tax money. So that it's well worth going over, spending a couple minutes on that. And then my record retention guide is, how long do you have to keep all this stuff? So, I mean, if you keep it forever and ever, your whole garage and storage area will be filled up. So it goes over how long you need to keep records and when you can destroy them, which you should do by shredding or something like that.
Now, we've got our lines open here. It is a great time to call in and get all of this free things from him, because you'll have it. You can look over the summer. It's hot out. It's a perfect time to look at all of these things and sort of find out what you can maybe get to lower your taxes. So again, our line is open here. You're going to get the tax organizer from him, the record retention guide. You're going to get a free Walmart card or a Starbucks card. He goes back three years for you for free at no cost, entering you into win a business or personal tax return for either if you haven't done or have done it. Also, he's going to, did I say the Walmart card or the Starbucks card, you're getting that too. There isn't anything he doesn't like to give. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Call in and get entered in to win. All of this is about a $450 value free to you. Look at him up at TedWatkinsEA.com, or if you want to, he'll do a free consultation for you as well at 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. Call in here. There's nothing like having an enrolled agent since 1978 doing your taxes for you at no extra charge than anybody else would do. So give us a call here at the station. Get entered in to win all of this stuff for him. I think it's great for everyone to have. Again, our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And he's add something else now, and we'll talk about that when we get back.
Traded it all if I gave it all away for one thing.
We've been busy talking here. Ted has added something to his repertoire, and I think this is awesome. For anybody out there that does not have a financial advisor, if you do, it doesn't really matter, but if you don't, it just so happens I think it's perfect for that. And you've added something. Let's talk a little bit about what you've done and then what we're going to add to what you give away too.
Okay, alrighty. So I'm a baby boomer, and I'm sure a good many of you out there are baby boomers, and you may or may not be aware that 10,000 of us a day are retiring. So
God, I wish I was one of those.
Yeah. So, but anyway, about a year ago, I started to get some requests from people that they wanted to know, well, what should I do about my retirement planning? And unfortunately, a lot of people haven't done as much as they need to adequately retire. So what I do is will sit down with you for about an hour, and we'll go over the various options that you have as far as retirement planning goes. Now, I'm not pushing any products. All I'm doing is developing a plan, and it's kind of slanted toward the tax aspects. I'm not a financial planner, although I do know quite a few financial planners in the Valley, so I can refer someone to you if you don't have one. But what we do is we sit down and we analyze it. We take a look at your tax returns and kind of look at what your income and what you think your income will be in the next few years, and come up with the best plans from a tax perspective. And then you can take that and go talk with a financial planner. You might need to talk to an estate planning attorney as well. But anyway, we've talked a little bit the last 2 or 3 shows about the options that you have. And of course, your first, most everybody's covered by Social Security. So that's your first retirement plan. But that Social Security only provides for about 40% of what you're going to need in retirement, and sometimes less than that. Depends on how much you've made over the years. Whether, for example, in my case, I've been self-employed most of my life, and I haven't paid myself a heck of a lot of salary, so I'm not going to get a lot in Social Security. And there's probably a lot of you in that same boat too, particularly if you've been self-employed and you want to maximize what you're putting into your business. A lot of people don't pay themselves much in salary, so if you haven't, you're not going to get a heck of a lot of Social Security benefits. So, but anyway, after Social Security, if you work for a fairly good-sized company, you have the 401k plan. 401k plan allows you to put away as much as $18,000 a year if you're under age 50, or $24,000 if you're over age 50. And then a lot of companies, the employer will match it usually about 3% of your compensation. So that's another good area. If you can put away money in your 401k, that's a good thing. If you don't have a 401k, you still have the regular IRA, and you can deduct or put away about $5,500 a year in that. But I'm particularly partial to Roth IRAs because I think I'm almost convinced, 100% convinced, that tax rates will be much higher in the future. I mean, we have a $20 trillion deficit, and we owe the country's basically broke. So they're going to have to raise, I believe, the tax rates quite a bit in the future. So with a Roth IRA, when you take money out, you don't pay tax on it. Now, you don't get to deduct anything when you put money in a Roth, so it's what they call after-tax dollars. But down the line, as long as you've had the Roth for 5 years and you're over age 59 and a half, you can take as much money as you want to out of a Roth without taking any paying any taxes on it. Mm-hmm. So those are probably the 3 or 4 best things to do if you work for a company or if you have a small business where you may not be making a heck of a lot of money. There are other things you can do if you're self-employed. If you have a lot of profit, there's some other vehicles that can be used. But that's probably the most. If people get those 3 down, you're going to have going a long way to providing for your retirement.
Well, you also wrote something on this self-directed IRAs, which we're going to be giving away too for everyone. But what I really want to stress again, you're going to get all of the free things that he offers everyone. And I'm not going to say it all right now because I want him to talk a little bit about this. But what's great about it is everybody's different. Everybody has a different tax bracket. And that's what I like about it, is that he's not pushing any products. I was talking about you the other night to some people, and I mean, it's good for somebody that that you know that he's not going to do that for you. It's just basically he wants to see what you can do, the best thing for you, the best direction to take for you for your tax purposes. So he's offering a free consultation. You're also going to get his white paper on this that he wrote. Why did you write it on the self-directed IRAs?
Okay, Carol. Well, self-directed IRAs are actually a pretty big item in the Phoenix area. There's quite a few people are into having self-directed IRAs where they want to own real estate inside of an IRA, or maybe they want to have gold coins inside of an IRA, or they might. You can even there have been some companies that have pushed owning a business inside of an IRA, but there's a heck of a lot of problems that are caused by that, because with an IRA, you have to take the money out starting at age 70 and a half. It's called a required minimum distribution, and you have no choice about that. Now, this is with a regular IRA. With a Roth, you don't have that problem, but with a regular IRA, you have no choice, because what they do is whatever the assets are in your IRA when they're age 70 and a half, they just divide it by your remaining life expectancy, and that's how much you have to take out each year. So, but with a self-directed IRA, if you've got a piece of real estate in there, or some gold coins, or some other, maybe art and things like that, the problem is that how do you take out your required minimum distribution? I mean, you can't take out a portion of a piece of real estate. So, now you could sell it, but maybe that's not what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with like gold coins. I mean, I suppose if you had 1,000 gold coins in, you could take out so many per year, but it causes a lot of problems and with the required minimum distribution. And there's also some other things that you can't do. For example, you can't use financing inside of an IRA. So if you buy a piece of real estate, it has to be for cash. If you do, you've created some major problems for yourself.
Well, we're going to give this out to everybody, this white paper. It's going to come along with the tax organizer, the record retention guide. A reason why he was saying if you work with him on this, that's great. If you don't, that's fine too. But we want to give you all this anyway, so you can have it. And you're also going to get the free Walmart card or the Starbucks card. He's also going to enter everybody into also getting a free. It's a retirement. It's the best retirement plan for you, and that's a $500 $500 value free to you. So he's going to give you some time to do that. He's not pushing products at all. That's not what it's about. So you're also going to get the white paper that he wrote. It's on self-directed IRAs, and the number to call here for all of this is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. And he can help anyone in the United States with this as well. Go ahead, Ted.
Okay. Well, one thing I did want to cover, if you do have some tax issues, of course, now is a real good time to take care of them. Also, you'll find that my fees and taking care of people with tax issues are a lot less than what I call the national tax resolution companies, and most of those are based in L.A., Miami, or Denver, and most of them charge you anywhere from $3,500 to, I've heard, as high as $18,000 upfront retainer. And all I require from you is $175. That's for my what I call my power of attorney fee. So I have to have a power of attorney. It's an IRS power of attorney. It's not you're not signing your life away. It just allows me to talk with the IRS. So I have to have this power of attorney fee, and then I can call IRS and I can find out if you haven't filed any tax return, or what tax returns you haven't filed, and what tax years that you owe taxes on. So the IRS will actually fax all this to me, and they're actually quite efficient in this area. I did 2 yesterday, and we had what they call the transcripts back the same day. So, but anyway, we can find out what your situation is, and then it allows me to figure out the best solution to your tax issues. So, but anyway, if you don't want to hire me, or if you think you can do it yourself, I wouldn't recommend that, because most people talk too much, they volunteer too much information. I've had people call IRS people 4-letter words, and that doesn't get you anywhere. So for me, I've done it for many years, and it's just another part of my job and part of my business.
He's also helped a lot of people out there. If you procrastinated, give us a call here. If you know somebody, give us a call here. If you yourself know you should call here. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Check him out. It's TedWatkinsEA.com.